If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification button. I've got some other videos on my channel I think you'll like, and yeah, here we go. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 tactics to help you earn more money. This is all from the book Set for Life by Scott Trench. So yeah, here we go. Tactic number 1 is to put yourself in a high achieving environment. A lot of young a lot of people of all ages that are ambitious join a company and they'll, do everything right. They'll show up on time. They'll put in a little bit extra work every now and then, and they'll do what it takes to get promoted and get to the next level. But Scott argues that this actually sucks the soul out of people. Hustling and, putting all your energy into this just to get, a little raise, a little promotion, and rise up through the ranks steadily over time is not going to build you wealth, at least not quickly. So Scott argues that instead of doing that, you should put yourself in an environment where you're surrounded by high achievers, people that are at a position and achieving at a much higher level than you are. He gives the example of himself, actually, and states that he joined Bigger Pockets and put himself around Joshua Dorkin, the founder and former CEO of Bigger Pockets, as well as Brandon Turner, the co-host of the Bigger Pockets podcast, and a real estate millionaire by the age of 30. And by doing this, he put himself in a position to have accelerated learning opportunities, to build his reputation, and to have much more opportunities to improve his income. Now, Scott goes on to mention that joining a regular company isn't a bad thing, but joining a regular company where you're going to get promoted every 1 to 3 years is not going to put you in a position to earn and produce rapid and scalable results. He says that in addition to the people you surround yourself with, pay attention to the physical workspace and the tools you have. So for example, if you're in a cramped environment surrounded by people who love to chit-chat, that's not going to be ideal for being productive. Make sure you have the physical workspace and the amenities to be able to concentrate and be productive for long periods of time. So in summary, Scott says to make sure that you're surrounded by people you admire, who you want to emulate, and who you want to learn from. In addition, make sure you have all the tools, all the information, and you have the physical workspace to be as successful as possible and to be as productive as possible. The tactic number 2 is to read and self-educate forever. It says that by reading more books, you're going to make more money and you're going to be more successful in your career. He says that you should go to the local library and pick out a book and read it. And then the next week, read another one and repeat this forever. He goes on to say that while you may not have had a long career, other people such as Dave Ramsey, who built a business and hired a lot of people and is still running a very successful business, created a book called Entre Leadership. And other people such as Darren Hardy created a book called The Compound Effect on personal and financial success in life. And some other authors, created other books. But the key here is that people have distilled 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of information into, a few hundred pages. And so if you can take a few days or a few weeks to read some of these books, you're going to get a ton of information, a ton of experience in a very short amount of time. Scott goes on to say that business decisions aren't that difficult when they've been mapped out by a brilliant mind before you, which clearly applies to a situation in your life. So you can just model that person and just, take his strategy and do the same thing in your life. Hopefully you'll get, similar results and in a much quicker amount of time. Personal success authority Brian Tracy says that 1 hour of study a day is going to put you at the top of your field in 3 years. And while that's not guaranteed, obviously you have to put in the work and persevere and all that stuff and everything that comes along with it, be disciplined. But by, self-educating and working on yourself and trying to improve and learn, hopefully you're going to get much better at things. You're going to be much more productive, much more efficient, much more effective, and that actually will translate to putting you at the top of your field. So, by doing that, it's not automatically going to make you more successful, but by applying it to your life, it will. Some advice that I can add is to don't take a shotgun approach. Don't try and learn everything all at once. Try and, pick out a few different skills and go all in on those skills. Try and learn as much about those as possible. And at the same time, as you're facing challenges and issues in your life, try and learn more about what others have done to overcome those as they show up in your life. So that you can apply everything you're learning to what's going on to overcome them, be more productive, be more efficient, and just get better and better and better at what you're doing. Scott adds that while reading books is a great way to learn, not everyone learns the same way. So you should try and figure out what's best for you, whether that's watching YouTube videos like this one, or listening to podcasts, or listening to books, or buying online courses, or going to virtual events these days. Just try and get it in. Try and learn, the best way that you learn, and try and just be consistent with it. Just each and every day. It doesn't even have to be an hour. It can be like 15 minutes. It can be 30 minutes. Just try and do something. Do it consistently. Do it sustainably over the long term. And you're definitely going to see some results. Apply it to your life and do the best you can. Side note, a book that I've heard is great on developing new habits is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And while I haven't read that book personally, I've heard great things about it from a ton of different people on a bunch of different podcasts and so forth. I've watched a couple different YouTube videos on the core lessons in there, and it just seems to be a great book. So definitely do some more research and check it out for yourself. Tactic number 3 is to focus on continual improvement. Scott says that people who are going to work, working hard, going home, calling that an honest day's work, are being left without a job and up a creek without a paddle. He says that any skill you might develop today could be obsolete within a few years. He says that your value isn't in your ability to use specific software or to operate certain equipment. It's in your ability to stay up to date with skills that are relevant today and your ability to learn new skills. He says that in today's economy, virtually every task that's done routinely by humans is going to be automated by software or machinery. Scott says that, as you may know, millions of people have to continually evolve just to keep their job, never mind, improve. So it's become, more of a must rather than a should, that you should improve your skill set and continually evolve, read, learn, network, and experiment. Try new things and grow, continually evolve and get to that next level. Tactic number 4 is to instantly make trivial decisions. Scott starts this off by giving an example of Carmen, a 20-something who's a busy professional. She gets off work and watches TV or Netflix. That's her nightly routine. But she spends like 30 to 45 minutes looking for the best show or the best movie to watch. By the time she finds it, and she gets really into the show or movie, she's like up later than she thought she was going to be. And that messes up her night. That messes up her next morning. Her next day. And so you have to be really aware of the decisions you're making so that you can free up more time for the productive activities in your life that are going to move your life and your income forward. Spend more time, on just activities that are going to be producing more income, and be decisive when it comes to difficult decisions. If you have high priorities and you're trying to figure out, should I do this financial report or should I do this sales report? Just pick one, do it, get it done, and move on to the next one. Don't spend so much time, thinking about what your next move is going to be, and just do it. It says that most successful people attribute their success at least partially to luck. They've been blessed, good things have happened to them, they've had great fortune. But there's, 3 different things that help them do that. Number 1 is they learn to recognize luck. Number 2 is they put themselves in a position to get lucky. And number 3 is they give others the chance to make them lucky. So in order to recognize luck, you must first have a goal, a plan, a vision of what you want in life. Because otherwise you're not going to be able to, know when you got lucky or be able to tell people, oh, this is when I got lucky. This is when it happened. Because you're just going to be, walking aimlessly through life. Scott gives the example of Jason, who's a real estate investor trying to build up his portfolio of appreciating rental properties. And he states that Jason would have no idea how to recognize luck had he not have the goal improving the size of his portfolio. Countless different times in his life, he wouldn't be able to recognize and take advantage of the luck in his life. Jason has met a ton of different people, whether it's through his job in tech or working out or just being in the park talking to people. He wouldn't be able to talk to people about his goal and recognize, when luck is coming into his life. The key here is to have a goal, a plan, a vision of what you want so that you can talk about these goals, these plans with the people you meet and the people you know, so that you can have more win-win situations in your life and just be able to recognize that luck. So step number 2 is to put yourself in a position to get lucky. Now, what this means is that you're probably not going to get very, very lucky by watching TV or Netflix all day or playing video games, just sitting in a cubicle, eating sandwiches and all of those things where you just are spending a lot of time alone. By going to networking events, meeting new people, expanding your network, you're going to put yourself in a position to get much, much luckier. Scott says that you're not going to get lucky staying inside all day, watching TV or Netflix or video games. You have to get out in the world and meet new people and expand your network and go to events. These days with the pandemic, that's a lot harder, but you can still join virtual events. There's a lot of online meetups and stuff like that you can do. You can go on social media and meet new people that way. But by staying inside and watching TV, that's not really going to make you that lucky. Step number 2 is to put yourself in a position to get lucky. People and opportunities come into Jason's life as a result of telling more people what he's up to and what his plans are. Scott pulls Jason back from the first step and says that Jason tells everyone he meets, what his goals are, what his plans are, what he's doing with real estate, and that makes him much, much luckier. Jason has met multi-millionaire real estate investors just by telling people what he's up to and what he's trying to accomplish in his life. One particular real estate investor gave Jason some advice that he immediately applied to his investing strategy. And so Jason's just getting lucky out here. He is telling more people and things and opportunities are coming into his life. God says that had Jason not told people about what he's up to and kept his cards close to his chest, that opportunity, as well as many others, might have never materialized. He might have never gotten those lucky opportunities. Scott says that, some people might want to compete with him for properties that he might want to buy. However, the pros far, far outweigh the cons when it comes to, getting lucky and telling people what you want in life. Scott says, don't let the fear of people taking advantage of you keep you from the many, many more people who are happy to help you achieve your goals. So those are the 5 tips to help you improve your income and your net worth by Scott Trench in his book, Set for Life. Now, here are a couple bonus tips. Number 1 is to start your own business, either by yourself or with 1 or more partners. And number 2 is to get yourself into a career where your income is uncapped, such as sales. Doing one of those 2 things or both is going to put you in a position to make a lot more money in a much shorter amount of time, as opposed to getting a high-paying job that's making like $100,000 a year. You're still going to have to work for a relatively decent amount of time. If you found this video valuable in any way, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and please hit the notification button. As I said before, I've got some other videos on my channel I think you'll like. And until next time. Peace.